I was 19 when it happened. I had gotten into this habit of tripping with mirrors at the time. So I was in my bathroom, standing in front of the sink. I had some really bad experiences prior, and honestly, my plan was to try and bolt if shit got too strange. I remember with this one in particular, it seemed like nothing was happening. Everything was normal. I leaned in closer to the mirror, and the pupil in one of my eyes started growing and didn't stop. It happened fast. There was no escaping it. It pulled me in like a black hole. I remember being stretched into a line and then smashed into a dot and then blinked out into darkness. That's all I really have going into it. That blink into darkness faded back out as an opening of my eyes, but I was a different person, living a different life, on a whole different world. I was now a dude in my 30s waking up from some kind of overdose. It was very intense on that end of it because I still had strong memories of this life that you and I are in now. It took me about a year of their time to reorient myself to that reality. I couldn't even talk right for a little while because I was trying to talk like we do. Everybody thought I had brain damage. In that year, I went to sleep every night, expecting to wake up back here in my bathroom. I could not accept that it was real, but it just wasn't going away. I could count time down to the second. The memories of this life eventually began to fade, though. I didn't have all the little details anymore to try and make sense of it to others. Within that life, I also had some pretty big responsibilities that I had to focus on. I had a family and a house. The whole overdose thing cost me a job, but we were able to turn things around once I put my past behind me. You have to understand that this was all backwards for me. While I was there, my experience was that I had done a drug and experienced years of another life, ours, and within that life, I did a drug that brought me back. Basically, exactly what I'm doing right now and trying to explain this is what I was doing over there too. When you are in one of these parallels like this, no matter which direction you're heading, they become your base reality for the experience. I was questioning our world, not theirs. Theirs was my actual reality for the time being. So about 30 years later, I was an old man. My kids were grown up and moved out. One of them had asked me to look for something for them in the attic. I went up there and found a box that was very out of place. In it were things from this life we are in now. It was the biggest mind fuck I think I've ever experienced in any life. In that box, though, was a pipe and the same drug I'd overdosed on. Same exact bowl, actually. It was a little burned, but still had a few tokes left. I was just so confused and felt like I was finally close to an answer, so I hit it one more time and closed my eyes. When I opened them again, I was standing in my bathroom, 19, looking at the mirror. And just like the first transition, I was all fucked up about it. I still had to reorient, but this was Salvia, so there was no waking up from an overdose. It was like 30 years of whatever the hell that was just crammed into my head all of a sudden. I think it was about 4 minutes that had passed in total. Around 3 a.m., I remember just sitting on the bathroom floor, feeling like my head was going to explode. But not in the pounding headache kind of way. I sat there for 4 hours. At one point, I just started crying because I couldn't grasp what had happened. I was still very aware of my wife and kids and wondering if I'd ever see them again. My sister didn't even knock, just slowly opened the door and asked what was up. She was actually very crucial. She was actually very crucial in helping me reorient to this reality as my name. I tried to explain it to her. My language was a little off again, but not as bad, and she pretty much kept my family at bay while I sorted everything out. It didn't take me long to put on the mask, but mentally it did take me about another year to let it go. And that's another problem, is the whole mask idea. I don't know how to fully feel like this person that I am, but I'm trying every day. I've seen many other parallels, even on things other than Salvia. With Salvia, I've left the parallels altogether and experienced core self. This was significant as my longest lived and most detailed parallel experience, you know. This is really why you don't blast a whole bowl of high-level Salvia extract by yourself to see something cool. That's not what this is. It is extremely powerful and it will loosen anyone's grip on reality. Best to go in there as a no one. This must be respected as something more than a drug. You have to let go of this illusion if you wish to do Salvia properly. Any and all attachments to your name must be left at the door before you cross over. This is how you bypass the parallels and reach the core self. This is how we can remember who we are.